Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, don't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun, a 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I miss my baby, so I hit them on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and my only know it takes time. You can get it, got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate now. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
Trade another day.
And you know what? If it
Trade another day.
and tomorrow biggest bear out there, so be it.
You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play.
Little trade another day. Little trade another day. Little make another play.
Win some, you lose some.
But you little trade another day. Little make another play.
Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some.
But you little trade another day. Little make another
Is
play.
it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy up everything. Not gonna get upset. Just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future. Up early, just like a rooster. Eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do. Buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna. Cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams. Wake up and imagine so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some,
But you little trade another day. Little make another play.
don't be scared, G. Like
Good morning all. Yes, sir. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is good. Let's get a little bit more light. There we go. Make sure all systems go. Yes, sir. Hope we're all good. Happy Thursday to all. Today is the day pre-NFP. Going to talk about NFP. We have NFP on Friday. So we're going to see what happens here. Obviously, markets have been moving, that is for sure. So we need to discuss what's been going on since we last spoke the day before yesterday. We need to run through all of that and then have a look at what's going on for today as well. And then take it from there. Hope, let's get everything running. All right. So let's go to the news here. They've been making a deal with Oman. That's why Trump is saying here, I rather make a deal with Iran, because actually what's happened is that Oman is making a deal. Now, I'm going to explain the whole situation in depth here. So make sure you guys take some notes. We might wait for a few more people to come in, to be honest. And then we can explain the situation in depth. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do a markup here and then we can explain what's happening. So starting here on daily time frame, gold finally broke out of this tight consolidation. We said at some point we will have a resolution, and that resolution has decided to be on the upside. Now, normally the tighter the consolidation, the bigger the breakout. So we did have quite a significant breakout yesterday. Daily candle has continued a little bit. This is the first 4-hour resistance since our breakout. Now, we're not tapping any huge major level here. No weeklies. We're not tapping into any major dailies. Our next daily is actually pretty far away at 43.30. 1 hour time frame, where are we tapping? We might, no, not even tapping into a major 1 hour resistance. So we're just creating some form of pullback at the moment. If we zoom in here and we look at what's happening, start off from 4 hour, we have fresh new 4 hour resistance here. We have broken the lows of this 4 hour at the moment. So we could see a little bit of pullback. It does give us the opportunity for today to try to sell actually gold if it wants to do so. If not, trend is our friend. We're going to follow momentum. And the way that we're going to see momentum is exactly what it's doing right now. How we create supports, we're going to see changes of structure, and we're going to look for potentially price to either trade back towards these highs here, or if we don't get a chance because it flips bullish soon, then actually we're going to trade above these highs to look for the buys. There's also ways where we can get into trade back towards the highs. Now, the sells here actually become quite complex here. If we're looking at a 1 hour, we have a lot of rejections here. 30-minute, we're sitting at a 30-minute support here as well. So if we bring this in, this 30-minute support, selling below here is pretty tight. It could be an option, but I would love to see price really switch into lower highs. This is not lower highs. This is actually break of structure towards downside, retest. So I want to see us come back up, fail maybe at the 1 hour, and then bam, then we start our downside. Maybe then we can look for sells just to come test into daily open. Until then, it's not going to be the best thing. So we'll see what happens. Tapped monthly fair value gap. Yep, I know you like your gaps touched, but that's not what I'm looking for at the moment right now. So moving on to NASDAQ here swiftly. Daily time frame here also closing bearish from a major zone, right? We're closing from a major zone, and this is a whole zone we were stuck at yesterday, and I was very hesitant to trade actually buys in this zone here. It's a little bit difficult because we did majority push still up even though we were at this zone here, and yeah, now that we've created a resistance here, we actually have daily closing bearish and 4-hour candle closing doji bullish. Does allow us to still take buys if it wants to, but we can see how this just became a rejection zone. And now after this 4-hour candle, sells totally made sense. So when was this actually? Was this, yeah, this is after. Okay, cool. So like power hour yesterday, that sell there, that's peak. Yeah, this 15-minute candle close here in power hour yesterday. Yeah, just like an hour and a half into power hour. That was nice. Close below, set up one, easy sells. That was good. That was good. So now what are we gonna do? So let's have a look. We'll run from 4 hour. We're gonna mark this support here so we know where the 4-hour support is, because this is actually now becomes a 4-hour support. So we need to know how that is. Let's check 1 hour time frame where our 1 hour support is. Bring that in. 1S. And this 4-hour resistance here is no longer relevant. We've crossed through it twice, so we can make this into the 1 hour. Just check where the 15 is. So we have a 1 hour here. A bit messy ranges, huh? If we're looking at it here. 1 hour is a bit lower, 30-minute is higher. I don't like when it does that. Now we have another 1 hour here. 15-minute above. Honestly, sells look way easier today. Hopefully today's a bear session, because sells, we have so much better range here on sells. The buys are a bit complex, and we are a little bit more bearish. So I'd love to see some sort of structure change towards the downside, kind of something like this. Consolidation close. This was actually quite nice as well. Give us some downside. I want to see something similar, and then for us to leave the range. I do identify we are pretty bullish, but you know, I don't mind retracing a little bit. It's healthy for price. If we go and look at DAX here, DAX has done the same thing, but the difference with DAX is we're at all-time high on DAX. So daily time frame, you don't have to do much marking. Now we've created our first daily resistance after the all-time high break. 4-hour time frame creating finally some sort of structure here, and yesterday was the highs. Unfortunately, this was the end of the move for London session, and of course that was the high that broke out in London, being the high of the whole move. Hard to know when that's gonna come, but when it is, it's pretty clear. So for today on DAX, let's start off, you know, from the 4-hour markup here. We have this tiny little 4-hour resistance here. Gonna see if that lines up with anything. It's not really lining up with too much, so we're gonna actually move it to the 1 hour, because it's a small one, just a small candle. We are mixed bias, but we don't have much range here towards the downside. We do have only till here. We tried to close below. We're faking out at the moment. Gonna come back to DAX around the open here, but I would love to see if we're gonna sell, for us to retrace, create resistance, and then take sells back down. Kind of like what happened here. It's very similar setup we're seeing. Price push down, close below, everyone gets involved in sells, we bounce, and then the real sells come. So I want to see bounce, then sells. If we're going to go into a buyer's market at the moment, a bit tough in this range. We don't really have clean range to take buys. Our buys are most likely going to come probably somewhere in here, or with structure being formed. So this is what I would actually be looking for if I'm going for the buys. So yeah, let's see what ends up forming on the charts here. That's essentially the analysis here. We just had 15-minute candle close bearish here on gold. Remember what we said about our potential selling zone. We're also gonna run through a little bit of what is exactly happening on the fundamental side, and I'll talk a little bit about NFP here. So if we get the likes up to 80 likes, we can do that, and yeah, that's how it is. Anyone who's spamming questions, it will not be answered. Your question will not be answered if you're gonna spam it. So yeah, that is the analysis. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. You know the drill. Do the YouTube business. Leave a like, and we'll talk about what's going on with why he's saying I rather make a deal, as well as the calendar here. NFP tomorrow, what they're expecting. What about gold? Gold was the first pair I analyzed. In-depth analysis. Hi, your parents support you to do trading or not when you started? Yes. Well, the difference is I didn't really tell them I was trading. I just told them I'm looking at crypto and stuff like that. They didn't know what I was exactly doing. And as soon as I show them results, they were like, cool, you can continue. And I didn't show them results for like 2 years. This sounds like a conspiracy, but do you think that they just intentionally do this kind of escalation to manipulate the market? Yeah, of course. Everything is for a reason. They don't do anything randomly. It looks like randomness to us, but it's all plotted. It's all one bigger scale of something. How will Trump sell his new services? Yeah, exactly. How are you today? Good, thanks for asking, mate. Yourself? My parents do not support me. They say you're doing something, you're doing gambling thing. Also, some of my friends. Tell them, okay, yeah. Sure. Tell them that riding a motorcycle to work is not a gamble. What if someone hits you? There's a probability in that. Wearing a helmet while not wearing a motorcycle in India, that's a risk. Eating food from the street and not getting an upset stomach, that's a risk. You're just taking risks somewhere else. Applying for a job and being denied, that's a risk, right? What if you apply for a job and they deny your application? It's the same as losing a trade. That's a gamble, right? If they deny your application at a job, you've lost that gamble. Guess what? You will be denied more often than not. Not risking is the biggest risk. Yeah, it's just the difference we're taking is more financial risk, but everything is somehow connected to financial costs. It's just how life works. It's just because it's something new, right? And people are not used to it. I get it though. I get it. Like, to someone who never grew up with this, it just seems like it's just you know, it just seems like it's something that's gambling online. Also, they've probably seen ads about it, and all the guys who probably promoted the ads are probably promoting all of this bullshit, you know? Sir, I'm trading your London Open strategy, but all the results are SL. Then you're not trading my strategy, because all of the results here are not SL. If you were trading my strategy, then it wouldn't be all SL. So you're doing something wrong. All right. I also want to discuss about what's happening in Hormuz here. So they're trying to make a deal. So this is how it looks. This is UAE. Then we have like Iran here. This is the Strait. So here's Oman. Oman is trying to make a deal with Iran here for the Strait. They want control because this is where all the oil flows through. So what's happening is that Trump now is not making a deal. But in negotiations, this is where the deal has a problem. Part of the deal is saying that, okay, anything coming in, we will control as Iran. Anything going out, you guys can have control. The problem is now they're starting to say when stuff come in, we want to inspect and take 5 to 7% of that cargo's value. So they're basically charging a tariff on imports, which is extremely beneficial for this country and completely turns the scale and puts US in the dump, because now they've turned a situation where they've been attacked into a huge leverage point. And remember, who suffers with oil prices? Not only, it's the whole world. So Oman is saying like, look, just to get ships flowing, that would be better. The other thing that no one is considering about is more instability in here, there's a whole different market. And there's a big market called the insurance market. Now, if you know the history of insurance, insurance was actually created in England, and insurance was built on ships. So they noticed that sometimes these guys go out with their ships and they don't come back, unfortunately. And when that happens, their family is left stuck. Okay, their family is left stuck. And so they created, before every guy goes out with his ship, he has to put something into a pot. And that's how insurance was created. Now, that has come all the way till the modern day and age. We have insurance on ships. Every ship that needs to pass through here, cargo, oil, they are now have to buy insurance, because we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, right? That have to pass through here, and they want to be insured in it because someone is sending a random projectile. Okay? So this is creating some stickiness. The big points going forward, and this is the threat to the market, is first of all, US may not get a deal. Second of all, the deal only cares about the stability of the Strait of Hormuz, because that's what impacts oil prices. That's what will impact inflation, all of that stuff. Anything else doesn't really matter. Third thing is now, will Trump allow his ego to go down and claim that, hey, yes, we've had to give this up? Okay? This is all going to put pressure, because this is a problem. 5 to 7% is a problem. No one wants to pay that. So this is a sticky point, but Iran has leverage and they're trying to use it. So this is not going to be something, so we might get a short-term deal, but then it has to be initiated, and it might take some more time than expected. Now, in saying that, what's happened in the market recently? We've had gold break up here as things are looking more positive for the Strait of Hormuz. We can see that from oil prices. Look at oil prices stabilizing. We've had a massive crash, oil prices stabilizing, US oil at 75, Brent oil almost back at 80s. If there's no deal, this will shoot towards the upside and it will put pressure on all the market. Nasdaq rallied, SPX all-time highs, right? SPX, we're at all-time highs, US 30 all-time highs. The whole market has gone crazy because of this. But the crazy thing is, I want you guys to listen. The crazy thing is, there is no deal. Nothing has been confirmed. Nothing has been confirmed. There is no deal yet. So we don't know what the terms are going to be. If the terms are that you have to pay tariffs, it makes no sense. Even China's upset with that because China has to import. Who was previously in control of the strait? Free to use. It was free to use. So we have on Friday NFP news. Now this is going to impact the US market because this is employment data. If we see unemployment rates suffer, that means the job data is going to be getting weaker, and that's not going to be good for US. That means companies are going to start struggling. So this whole move is going to be retraced. I think it comes back around the same here. And based on what we heard from the Fed, the employment market is doing pretty okay. That has to continue for this bullish move to sustain, right? If inflation, the biggest one for me this month is going to be inflation data, not NFP data. NFP data doesn't matter too much right now. I mean, it does matter, but it's not the big one. For me, CPI, because inflation is going to affect employment data. So they've been saying, Fed have been saying that employment is doing well, but if this month employment starts to tip over, that puts a very complex situation on the Fed. That means that they might let inflation creep up, which is going to negatively impact the market. So yeah. It was free to use. Why not keep it that way? It's a win, lose for both parties because you have leverage. If you're someone with leverage, you've just been bombed the shit out of, sent tons of shit to you, and now you're sitting there and you're like, you know what? You're going to pay for this. You created this problem. We didn't have this problem before. You started this problem. I want leverage out of it. Could you please correct my mistake? 15 close above, took an entry with 5 minute here. Too early, man. It's not a trading time. You're also selling the first 4. You're also buying a bit early. The first 4-hour candle bearish. Big move we had yesterday, bro. Just give it some time. Let the session come. Let some volume come. You know, it's not a bad setup. Just need to give it session time at this point. So look, gold tried to peak below here. We failed out. We're getting buyers back into the market now. 5 minute might close back in the range. Remember what I said for sells. I want to see lower highs. This is just straight. Very sketchy. Very, very, very sketchy. Doesn't mean much. Anyways, hopefully that made sense for that analysis. So we can see 15 close above here, right? Because we have no structure, no lower high structure. So we can see here just grabbing liquidity. See how DAX is doing? DAX also bouncing here, but this is where DAX can now, if it wants to turn around, right? We can get 15 now, start to close bearish. It needs to see what it has to do. Nasdaq might be setting up for some sell soon. We're stuck at this 15 here. I mean the 1 hour, sorry.
That's also 4 hours as well.
Oh no, this is what, on Nasdaq?
Yeah, on those.
Yeah. So we need to see how we react from here. If we can get below, I think it'll open the door to some sells. If you woke up in Trump's body, how would you end this? I wouldn't have started it to begin with, but if I had to be thrown into this mess, I would accept defeat. I'd accept defeat. I need time to think about it. How do you find counter trend setups when 4 hour are bearish? Using my counter trend strategy. Also, guys, I've been updating the Telegram for you guys. Have you been seeing? I've been posting all the trades that I've been taking. Yesterday's getting cooked, all of that stuff. So if you want to see my trades, we've been doing well. How I've been trading, what I've been doing. Giving good in-depth stuff.
Harry.
Yo, bro.
Yo, you said about a potential wick fill on gold, right? Sell zone. You really think that sell area is worth it, especially with the hourly support?
It depends. It depends. I mean, this hourly, let's see it on futures. I think it's only there.
No, I think a wonder's there, but it just looks a bit off.
I'm gonna check on futures. Yeah, it's much closer on. It's not. Yeah, you have a little bit of room.
Yeah, futures has a wanda literally tapped it and just rejected straight away.
Yeah, it's if price wants to continue down, you know.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, whole point of a wick fill now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens though.
Sweet.
Say there is a 15-minute, also a 30-minute level. Should I mark it as a 30-minute or leave it as a minor 15-minute level? If it's the same level, then mark it whatever you want it. It won't make a difference as long as you mark it. We could be aggressive on the sells, meaning that we should expect this wick to be filled pretty fast. So if we get the 5 close below, it should pretty much do the job here in 3 minutes. It's not the most ideal place to sell. I'd rather be a buyer from this zone if I'm being honest. Like, I much rather this change structure here towards the upside and I look for buys. That would be my main plan here. But if price is going to prove to me that we keep going down, like we get a 15-minute close below here. 5-minute is very aggressive. I rather see a 5 change of structure from here. Like that. Then I actually take buys. But we have to just pick a direction if today wants to reverse or not, right? Because we can't be sold that, hey, upside makes sense today. We should keep continuing up. We did a lot of work yesterday. Yesterday we moved 2,300 pips. So for us to cool off a little bit is really not out the ordinary. So trying a little bit of sells, and this could be a situation where I attempt the sells. It doesn't move, I get out of the sells, and then I get in the buys. I rarely do that, but today is that type of day where we could see that. We'll just see how these candles close though. Man, last second pushing here. See how deep it goes though. It's getting pretty deep right now. Where's that 1 minute support? There's not much room to that now. I wanted the close around here. Now I only have about 9 pips to break even. Seems like it would just be a break even trade. I'm actually gonna I'm actually gonna try rely on the fake out here today. 4 minutes for London Open. I'm gonna wait for London Open because this 1 hour can be important here. Yeah, if we get a 15 here, some more 5 minute, that would be better. DAX buys on the open. Very tough buying range. Where are you gonna buy? We're not at all-time high. To the moon? Yeah, it's up to you, bro. Whatever your plan is. Tough range for me. How many months you gather your trading data shown on the stream? 4 years. 4 years of trading data. 3 years documented live every single day. On only one session, not 2 sessions. Other session I trade privately in the group. And remember, on stream I only trade for roughly about an hour and a half. So you only see an hour and a half of my trading day. So yeah, we have about 3 minutes for the open here. If it catches volume, I'd put TP to the 1 hour. Where's stop loss and where's entry, all of that stuff. Like if you run 1 hour stops, it's not enough. You need to break the 1 hour. You recommend for new traders to trade only one session? No, I don't actually. I think you can trade more than one. I think it's good to gain experience faster. So if you're a new trader, I would recommend trading probably more than one session. Also will help you find out what session you prefer, but you need the right guidance in that session. Because if you're doing random stuff in the sessions, taking stupid trades, then you won't really learn much. Like you want to be doing it with an approach and making mistakes while doing the approach, because it's totally normal to make mistakes and to do stupid things, but you want to have an approach behind it. If you're just sitting there doing absolute randomness, it's a bit of waste of time, and I've done that when I first started. I was just trying, like, I used to trade 3 strategies at once. You know, 3 strategies at once. I used to have 3 strategies at once, and it was a disaster. Because one strategy was telling me one thing, the other one was telling me another thing, and then I would end up taking both. So there was no clear approach. Alright, so I was saying how I was kind of relying on the fake out here. We might be able to get it here. 51 seconds. I want to see the 15. 15 needs to close bullish here. Otherwise, it's very hard. I have nothing. I have no 30 bullish. I have 1 hour bearish here. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me to buy. Unless we get a deep bottom wick and then I take it as an impulsive idea breaking this high here. Rely on these rejections. But ideally we get the 5 close above plus bullish candle. If not, I'll have to do that idea. So I'll see. So we have the 15 kind of like doji here. 5 minute obviously didn't close above. Practically at. So it's a tough one here. If I want to go break of these highs here, I need to see this bottom wick really do some business right now. Come back, test really deep here. Otherwise, I'm fighting against too much. I'm fighting against 1 hour candles bearish. I'm fighting against 30-minute candles bearish. It's going to be very difficult for me to take a buy. Hopefully it messes around, makes a bottom wick, and we get the next candle closing above on the 5. I don't really want to enter impulsively here. Stops below 15. All right, NASDAQ. Let's see how NASDAQ closed here. Let's see DAX. Did DAX go upside? Yeah, so anyone who took buys here, good luck. It's not looking the best here. Hopefully you guys have stops in place. Yeah, I just didn't see the buys for me. Too much resistance. There was no entry on DAX. I thought you guys were just saying to buy DAX. I mean, this would have been the buy, right? I agree there's no entry on DAX. So NASDAQ, is NASDAQ following? Yeah, so remember we said NASDAQ we could get some downside if we do that. Bam. This is quite nice though. We are definitely making a good bottom wick. We needed this. So ideally now the next 5 minute just closes above, to be honest. Then I have that type of confirmation. So NASDAQ could set up for sells, but we need to wait. We have nice push on DAX, but the problem is DAX doesn't have much clean range towards the downside after we tap this target we just did. NASDAQ has a lot of clean range, so if NASDAQ follows through, gold trying to flip here. Let's see if it can actually flip and close above. Last 1 minute, let's see what it does. 1 minute is trying to break up here. We needed to get above here. Let's see, it's trying its best. Can we close above? Oh, it's stuck. Yeah, zero volume. It's just not trying to push above. So 5 minute came close, but nothing just yet. So I have to wait probably for the next 5 here. I want to see conviction, like price wants to go up. So if I take it impulsively, break of this high, I feel it's a little bit early for me still. Just because we have nothing closing bullish. No 30, no 15, no 1 hour, nothing. So it's going to be too much of a gamble for me. But as soon as I get... What's the nice thing is, as soon as I get a 5 minute candle bullish above, it will give me some more confidence. We have a lot of 1 minute BS here though. So, you know, that's why I don't want to enter impulsively. If we just break this, tap into here, start to range, then I'm stuck in drawdown because I'm buying the highest point of the day. And then I'm ranging here, right? So that's the difficult thing. So yeah. So we'll wait for this close here, see if we do finally get the close above or what. In the meantime, I'm just gonna go to the toilet, so I'll be back. Give me a second. So we finally broke that 15-minute high where my impulsive entry would have been. This might be the time where it just blasts and then I don't get an entry because I had no close. Very possible. Very, very possible. Still 2 minutes for this candle. It's a tough impulsive because look, we have nothing, huh? No 30 bullish, no 1 hour bullish. It's just too much against us. Nice rejections from the low. This is just disappointing, this candle close here. But let's see if it can actually close above, or last 2 minutes, does it snap back in the range? That's something very common for gold to do, snap back at the range. Nas also rejecting from the lows here. We can see 5 minutes for 15 minutes. It's a bit messy on Nas. I wish we had a bigger range, then we could trade bigger ranges. DAX, I think, still trying. Actually, it's trying some upside now. Trying to get back inside the range on DAX. You know, we have a lot of supports here. There's a lot of supports on DAX. Nasdaq might be, then went to TP. That's okay though. As long as you had a reason to go break even, it's okay. That's the main thing. How to be a trading influencer, buy camera, get gear paid by mom, and talk about price action and take no trades. No, actually your mom paid for my gear, price action and all of my education, as well as my camera gear. So yeah, that's exactly it. And have good hair, don't forget about that. Yeah, you need good hair, mustache, and that's how you can be an influencer. And also don't forget about this. Don't forget about a 3-year track record publicly giving free trades to people. Right? Publicly, 3-year track record of over a 70% win rate. And don't forget as well, making thousands of dollars live on stream. So don't forget about that. And don't forget about the 5 trades that I've taken this week already. Because remember, he doesn't trade. So if he doesn't trade, means he takes 5 trades. I would have taken a gold trade knowing that this came on. Yeah, exactly. Don't forget about the GT3. Yes. Don't forget about that. At Calvin Turner, if she pays for Harry's stuff, can she please also pay for my Trading View sub? I'll say, if you dress like this, there's already a problem, bro. I think we know with these skinny ripped jeans tells me enough. That tells me enough. It's enough, it's enough. Skinny ripped jeans selfie in the mirror. Cancel. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Name of this background music? This one is called Delirious. It's a classic. Well, that's the plan. Nice to see it play out. I guess you had to go impulsively in order to get this move. Just rely on your overall idea today. Forget about... So this is always a debate in trading. How far do you go into breaking your rules? Because here I'd have to break 3 rules. It's a bit much for me to break. Rule number 1 I have to break is I don't have any bullish candle close. Rule number 2 is I'm buying in all bearish candles. Rule number 3, if I'm gonna buy, I'm buying late as well, right? Because if I'm gonna say the idea, hey, we should go up, why do I have to enter up here if I'm playing that idea? Then I should just take an entry right down here, right? Or right here on this bottom wick. Because now I'm buying the highs of the day. This is the highest point of the session. So it kind of puts everything out the window. So the only reason I would wait to buy at this area here is if I got a confirmation of a close, because that would supersede. But if I'm trading without a close, it's not going to change anything. I should just trade from here and just rely on analysis, not on entry. But if you run that 100 times, it becomes complex. DAX also retraced the whole move. NASDAQ, I think, has been pushing bullish here as well. We got a 15 close above here as well. Just limiting range. This would normally be a nice setup here, but we don't have range. 20 points here. Stop loss is 58 points. So that would be one problem, right? That's what I said early in the session today, is that what's the problem with NASDAQ is we just not having range. If we had range on NASDAQ, there's nice setups. Look, we have setups, but just close to everything. Oh. Uh-oh. That's not 1-to-1 yet. I thought that was clearly 1-to-1. Even with stop not below the 15-minute wick. That's not 1-to-1 yet. 58 is the tightest stop. 56. I mean, that is crazy. That is crazy. Should hit it though. 1 minute should make structure and hit it. But this is with the tighter stop. If you ran the stop below the 15-minute candle like this, I don't think you need that stop when you're entering. But imagine this comes back to entry now. That would be disgusting. That would be really disgusting. If you enter on the 15, yeah, but you're going impulsively. So if it comes back in the range, you're dead anyways. You're dead anyways. Like with an impulsive trade, you know, you have, like, it has to go. If it doesn't go, you're not going to get a close. You're not going to get any, like, you know, if it breaks the high, flips back in the range, that's it, game over anyways, because you not got the close. At least with the candle closing, it's like, okay, let's see if it respects support or what happens. I'd be surprised if this doesn't give it to you. We don't really have much here. Where's the 1 hour? Yeah, we don't have the 1 hour. So I'm surprised if this doesn't break the high and push a little bit more. At least into this wick here. We would just have to completely die of volume for that not to happen. This is a nice setup. I like these setups a lot, just there's no range. I'm not also super bullish higher time frame on NASDAQ today fully. If I was, then I would just take a buy, put stop below the whole range and expect it to retrace. You break even? Yeah, you would be break even for sure. There you go, it gave it to you, right? Yeah. That's TP there. That would be TP. I look at the top 5 stops of DAX as well. Yeah, that can help you. That's not a bad idea. I would not say that's a bad idea. Definitely. You know, that can help you. Give you some bias as well. I don't dislike that. These are some power hour trades, right? Look at this detail, guys. Look at this detail. That is work. I like this as well. I need to add the rest of the payouts to the website. We got some more payouts. I need to add some payouts to the website. I haven't added them yet. What's the tool? AI. That's AI made. Hello, bro. Which broker do you use? Vantage. Did this break high even? No. Wonder if we can get some sells on DAX. Still 5 minutes for this. But this 5-minute candle is closing. Problem is no 1-minute structure. So let's see if this can do it now on this top wick. Or no top wick. So we need a top wick first. And that top wick could be nice. Even if it comes back for the reflip. See how we look on broker. Is your trading strategy on your YouTube channel? Yeah. I would say... Oh damn, what is this zoom? Full zoom. This is what people watch. They watch this guy, Scarface, Iman, expose videos. You guys like to see people get exposed. I would say watch. This is a good video. 9 minutes. Watch this video. This is a simple strategy that I use. 9-minute video. And then if you want to get more into depth, then maybe go look at some more videos. Still not making 1-minute structure. And we're pushing down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles back to back. That's the 15. Are you going to make another full course for the end of the year? To be honest, my last one is pretty complete. I don't want to attract complete beginners to my channel. My channel is made for people to make money from, not just to discover what is trading. So these strategies are going to help you to make money in the market. They're not going to help you discover what is trading. So I want to keep my channel as a channel that actually helps you to make money. Not as a channel that is just there to teach you what a candle is, what a support is, what a resistance is. I think there's too many channels for that, and it's a waste of my time. And I want this channel to have information that can help you get one step closer towards taking the necessary steps to get profitable, to get put on a right path, you know. And I feel like those basic courses, you know, they don't help. Here in USA, making dollars is illegal. Only the government can make dollars. That's cool, bro. Do you feel like you make more in NY or London? Depends on the season, man. Depends on the season. So it switches and turns. Sometimes NY is just killing it. London has nothing. Sometimes London is amazing. And then the best time, of course, is when both are pushing. Right? When both are pushing, then I make the most money. But I'd say I'm pretty consistent in London. London is a session that throughout the whole year is very nice. It just has slow patches, and that's why no one knows how to trade London long term properly, because they just get caught out at the patches when it is, you know. So we finally made some 1 minute structure, but of course the entry is now different. I would have to enter right at a 15 support. So this is just cooking me a little bit. Bro, if I come to where you are, could you teach me that in person? No. Have a quick look at NQ. So NQ did close bearish now. We're coming back into the range. A little bit of a fake out. Let's see what we're doing on 5. And this 5 sitting here. Bullish 30 minute as well. NQ's in a range. That's what's happening at the moment. NQ's in a range. It's going to be very difficult to look for a clean trade because we're just in a range. Are you still doing the thing where you fly someone to Dubai? Yeah, we are. It's just summer and it's 50 degrees outside. So the two reasons. First of all, unfortunately, we had a war get started here in the Middle East. And remember, there was rockets flying over us and it was not really the right time to fly someone. Airports were closed and still there's flight disruptions to Dubai. So I want to be careful with that. Second reason now is that took longer than expected to finish up, and right now it's around 48 to 50 degrees during the day. So we're just so limited in what we can do. You're bringing someone to just keep them inside, and honestly I prefer to do things outside, and it's a lot nicer than just sitting inside. Wonder if we can catch a sneaky sell here. Do we have top wick on broker on this candle? Now we do. Five-minute closes in how long? 2 minutes. Let's see if I can calculate in time. No top wick on this, man. I couldn't calculate in time. I was thinking of a sneaky sell with this break of structure here, then break of low, and then break even at this wick first. Full hard break even here, but this could flip at any time. Bullish again. That was going to be my idea for sells. Yeah, break even around once we break the lows here. But now the threat is, watch, this candle can flip bullish. You know, we have about 21 seconds. In the next 20 seconds, this thing can flip bullish. That'll put you in drawdown. That means if it does do that, I can potentially grab another entry. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it closes bullish. Because see, that's what I was talking about, right? Flip bullish and now you're in drawdown if you enter here. And now it closes bullish. Yeah, I think this just looks a bit messy, bro. We just don't have volume here on NASDAQ. The more I look at this, the more I kind of feel like you're not going to get much out of it. You're just hoping for something to give some volume. I'd have to be very aggressive on it.
Where would you put stops on that approach?
Above this 5 here. Yeah. Because once it breaks this, it's basically game over. It's not what you're trying to target.
It would also be above the 50-minute structure, so it's good actually.
Mm-hmm. I just want to see, I think it needs some more liquidity. Sat in the hospital waiting for varicose veins to be done, still trading? Damn, respect. Good structure for 5 minute on gold sell. It's not really a structure, it's more of a downside push. Yeah, just lacking range. Look what will happen here. So you'll enter the trade here, break of low, like this. Then the market will force you to go break even. It will tap maybe into here. That's not enough for you to get paid. It's only 9 points. And then 9 points later, you get stop break even. You have about 23 point stop loss. So your TP is there. And now market will try retrace, force you to get stop break even. After it taps here probably though. But that's not enough for me to get paid. It needs more liquidity. So I expect that to happen at some point now. Either from here it can. If it's really not a bearish market, it can. Because we're just trading in a very messy range. Tap the 30 as well. So it kind of forces you here. DAX sells? No, we wanted the DAX sells from here, you remember? This is where I wanted DAX sells. So now, if you're in the DAX sells, if it gave us a freaking just a small top wick, you are 1-to-1 tapped already. You're at TP, and that's the way to do it. All right, team. I'm gonna hop off and come back for NY session. Gonna kill it during NY. I'll post any updates in the Telegram. That link is in the description. Appreciate you all showing up to stream as always. Pleasure to have you guys here. And yeah, it's nice to see familiar faces. And I do appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to spend the morning with me. It's much appreciated. Love having you guys here. So thank you for taking the time to spend with me. Hopefully you got some value, some good conversations. And I'll update you guys on my trades and everything. Much love, take care, and peace. See you guys.